In the heart of Egypt, behind ornate doors, a great hall glows with the color of 1,000 tiny bottles. Ruby, amber, cobalt, and emerald glass catch the lamplight, and the air itself seems perfumed with rose, lotus, and warm spice. This is a house of pure essence, where the oldest art of fragrance in the world is still poured drop by drop, exactly as it has been for thousands of years. Welcome to the Perfume Palace. We are in Egypt, the ancient land of the Nile, where the river runs like a green ribbon through the vast golden desert. This is the country of pyramids and temples, of pharaohs and gods, a place that gave the world so many of its first great ideas. And among those gifts, quiet and often forgotten, is one carried on the air itself. For this was the land where perfume, the art of capturing scent, was truly born. Inside, the palace is a feast for the eyes long before it is a feast for the nose. Shelves rise from floor to ceiling, crowded with delicate glass vessels of every shape, their curved bodies and slender necks blown and twisted by hand. Gold trim traces the walls, and warm lamps set the colored glass aglow like stained windows. It feels less like a shop and more like a treasury, a place built to honor something precious. Each of these little bottles holds a concentrated treasure, a pure flower essence with no water and no alcohol added. Rows of them line the counters, glowing red and gold and blue, each one a single captured scent. To lift a stopper is to release an entire garden at once, so rich and deep that a single drop can linger for a whole day. These are not simple perfumes, but the very souls of the flowers themselves. The tradition behind this hall reaches back to the dawn of civilization. Ancient Egypt is often called the true cradle of perfumery, the place where scent first became an art. Thousands of years ago, along the banks of the Nile, people learned to steep flowers and resins in oil and fat, coaxing their fragrance into a form that could be kept and carried. What began here would one day spread across the whole ancient world. To the ancient Egyptians, fragrance was sacred, a bridge between the earthly and the divine. In the great stone temples, priests burned fragrant resins and anointed the statues of the gods with perfumed oils, believing sweet scent pleased the heavens. Perfume was thought to be the very sweat of the sun god, fallen to earth. To wear it was not mere luxury but an act close to worship, a breath of the divine drawn into daily life. Fragrance followed the Egyptians even into death. In the shadowed chambers of the tombs, precious scented oils and resins were used to prepare the dead for the long journey into the afterlife. Sealed jars of perfume were laid among the treasures of kings and queens, so that sweetness might travel with them beyond this world. For a people who believed deeply in eternity, perfume was a companion meant to last forever. No name is bound to Egyptian perfume more famously than that of its most legendary queen. Ancient stories tell that she understood the power of scent as few ever have, wearing signature fragrances so heady that their reputation outlived her by centuries. Whole gardens and workshops were said to labor to supply her. Whether every tale is true or not, her legend reminds us how deeply perfume was woven into the glory and mystery of ancient Egypt. Of all the flowers of Egypt, none was more beloved than the lotus, the sacred blue water lily that opened upon the Nile each morning. Its cool, honeyed perfume was treasured above all others, and its image bloomed across temple walls and painted columns. To the Egyptians, it was a symbol of the sun, of rebirth, and of creation itself. Even today, the deep, dreamy scent of the lotus remains one of the great signatures of this ancient land. Beyond single flowers, the Egyptians blended famous perfumes and incense of astonishing complexity. Most renowned of all was Kyphi, a rich mixture of honey, wine, resins, herbs, and fragrant roots, burned as sacred smoke at nightfall. Its warm, layered aroma was thought to calm the mind, ease sleep, and carry prayers upward to the gods. Kyphi was among the most treasured scents of the ancient world, a whole ceremony held within a curl of smoke. The essences in this hall still begin, as they always have, in the flower fields. Across the warm Egyptian countryside grow jasmine, rose, and geranium, along with lotus and fragrant papyrus reeds rising from the water. The most delicate blossoms are gathered by hand in the cool of early morning, when their perfume is strongest, before the heat of the day can steal it away. It takes a great multitude of flowers to yield even the smallest measure of essence. From these mountains of petals, the pure essence is drawn. In gleaming copper vessels, the flowers are gently warmed so that their fragrant oils rise and gather, cooling at last into precious drops of concentrate. It is slow, patient work, and the yield is tiny, which is why true flower essence has always been so rare and so prized. Here, ancient patience meets the flower, and its fleeting scent is captured before it can fade. The result of all this labor is a collection of essences of remarkable purity. Unlike ordinary perfume thinned with alcohol, these oils are the undiluted heart of the flower, deep and long-lasting. Lotus, jasmine, rose, and rare spice each rest in their own jewel-colored bottle, waiting to be blended. A single small vial may hold the fragrance of an entire field of blossoms, distilled down to its brightest, truest note. To stand in this hall is to be wrapped in a living cloud of scent. One breath carries the cool sweetness of lotus, the next the warmth of rose or the green freshness of herbs, each note rising and fading like music. The eyes drink in the glowing colors while the nose wanders through a garden with no walls. It is a reminder that fragrance, invisible and fleeting, can be as rich and moving as any painting or song. What makes this palace so remarkable is that it is not a museum but a living tradition. The same essences that once anointed pharaohs and perfumed sacred temples are still blended here, poured today into the hands of travelers from across the world. A tiny bottle carried home holds far more than a pleasant smell. It holds an unbroken thread reaching back thousands of years, to the very people who first taught the world to treasure a beautiful scent. A glowing hall of colored glass, the pure essence of lotus and rose, and an art of fragrance older than the pyramids, all still alive in a perfumed palace beside the Nile. Thank you for watching. Follow for more interesting people, places, and things we cover on the channel.